everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney. This is the Brittney Reacts Show, and on this show we talk all things entertainment news, movie news, a little bit of strike updates, but mostly just entertainment news for today. We have a lot of fun, well, not a lot of fun things, but a few fun things to talk about. Like, we're going to go over the Wish trailer. We're going to go over to some other movies and shows that looks like we're going to get pretty soon because the strikes are ending. We're also going to talk about when the SAG strike might be ending soon. So we've got a good variety of things to discuss today. How are you guys doing? Hi Natanya, hi Semi Charmed, hi the Blue Gecko Nerd, hi Motion Going, hi Jamie, hi the Modern Designer, hi the Free Rocket Man, hi Dee Dee, hi Maggie Kitchen, hi Star Film Studio, hi everyone who's here. Alright, so let's get into the first topic for today. And that is, we're actually just going to start with strikes because there's not a whole lot to talk about with the strikes. So, because the WGA strike is now over, HBO is prioritizing the three scripts. So Euphoria Season 3, The White Lotus Season 3, and The Last of Us Season 2. Those are the three shows that HBO is prioritizing when it comes to, trying to get these shows fixed, done, and ready and out the door. So it looks like maybe we are going to get a Euphoria Season 3. Honestly, I was starting to doubt we were ever going to get that, but if they're rushing it, maybe we will. Is anyone watching The White Lotus? I've seen the first two seasons. It's pretty good. I've seen like half of the third one. I just didn't like the third season as much. And then The Last of Us Season 2. I know, did anyone watch the first season of The Last of Us? I did watch The Last of Us. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think the show is as good as the video game, but I did like the show. Anyone interested in any of these shows? Natanya doesn't watch any of them, but Ruru is excited for all three. Okay. The Free Rocket Man says, never watched The White Lotus, but I one day shall. Yeah, The White Lotus is okay. It's a very adult show, so just keep that in mind. I wouldn't watch it around, like, your parents or anything like that. But it's a good show. I wasn't expecting it to be what it is when I first tried it out, because I kept hearing so many people talk about it, and I was like, alright, I'll try this show out. And then, I gotta be honest, for the first couple episodes in the first season, I was like, this is it? But then I slowly started to get what people like so much about the show, and then I got hooked. That's okay, the cover girl. Jamie says, I don't watch The Last of Us because I know it'll be too emotionally devastating. I mean, it is a pretty emotional show. It's based off a very emotional game. The Blue Gecko Nerd says, they did say that Euphoria was going to be released in 2026. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think by the time that show comes out, it's going to be wildly different. I think they're already planning to age everyone up. I think they're probably going to talk about all the overdoses that have been happening, especially since it happened to one of their cast members. So I think it's going to be a very different show when it comes back, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Euphoria Season 3 is the last season. If it happens at all. Okay, the Modern Designer likes The Last of Us. Hi, Mikey. Anyways, so I just wanted to bring that up. Speaking of SAG, though, SAG and the studios are planning to meet on Monday. So it looks like if everything can be ratified and, if they can come to a deal, the SAG strike might be over by the end of next week, which means that both strikes could be over by the end of next week and everything could go back into production as soon as like 2 weeks from now. And all the actors can go back to promoting their movies. So you might actually see, Brie Larson and Iman Vellani and Teyonah Parris promoting the Marvels because now they can. So yeah, that's going to be really nice for them and all of those movies. At this point, the fact that the writers got they didn't get everything that they wanted, but they got like a really big chunk of what they wanted. They got such a big deal that I know SAG is probably going to get something similar. Now here's what I'm a little worried about. Not worried, just more like what I'm anticipating. Because with both the writers and SAG, and then eventually with IATSE all asking for more money, I think what the studios are going to do is cut back on production and make a whole lot less shows and movies and stuff for streaming. So yes, people will be making more money when they do have a job, but I think it's very, very possible that there might be like so few things getting greenlit right after these strikes are done, because I think they're going to be scaling back quite a bit, that it might be even harder to get a job. So I'm wondering if we might see that happen. We might see that happening. So I don't know. I'm very, very curious to see like what are the effects on the industry from these strikes. Because honestly, the strikes were a lot shorter than I anticipated, but I still think they're going to have a huge impact on the industry going forward. Ria Lynn says, also, I do think it's quite notable that Netflix, Warner Brothers, Universal, and Disney were the main figureheads in these strikes. Good to keep note going forward. Exactly, that's a great point, especially since it seems like, honestly, I thought that tech companies like Amazon and Apple would have more of a say in this, but yeah, their names have not been thrown out there nearly as much as the main four that you mentioned, so that is very accurate. Oh, hi, Josh Loves Movies. I think the studio will focus more on theatrical than streaming. Yeah, all of these executives are basically admitting now that it was kind of a mistake to double down on streaming the way that they did, because none of them are making money doing it except for Netflix. So I think Bob Iger already said that. I think they are going to focus more on theatrical, but I think what they do put in theatrical is probably going to be like stuff that has to be seen on IMAX or in those deluxe theaters. So where I see this all going is like all of the studios make stuff, like less stuff for streaming, but the stuff that does get made is going to be like really big, really out there, and a bold swing. So it's going to be like less, but each project could be better, or at least that's what I'm hoping. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, but it could be a positive where we get less, but having less means that each project is better. Although that could just be me, wishful thinking. Nicholas says, the strikes ended sooner than expected, but some gave a needed end date of September 1st, 4 weeks ago. Now we're going to see the effects this deadline passing. Yeah, that's very true. We're still going to see a huge content gap and everything because of the strikes and how long they've already been going on. Honestly, I was anticipating this being even worse. So the fact that this is ending this year at all is better than what I thought was going to happen. Yes, quality over quantity, exactly. I'm sorry you heard Prancer in the background. I can't stop him from barking. Riolin says, oh heck yes, they are going to severely cut back on greenlighting productions. Hopefully we will get better quality shows as a result. And yeah, a lot of writers might be in trouble with work. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. If everyone's asking for more money, then they're not going to make as much stuff. So, like I said, you're going to make more when you do have a job, but it might be harder to get one when when you're looking for one. So I think that could be a potential negative side to all of this, to be honest. Oh, DD, you just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, DD, for gifting 5 memberships. That's so kind of you. So Black Star is a member, Cry Deluxe is a member, Sarah B is a member, Jules Elizabeth is a member, Danny is a member. Oh wow, we have 5 new members. Thank you so much, guys. And now you can participate in our community posts where we're going to have the member segment later when we talk about Wish. But yeah, now you can comment in those posts and you'll get a shout out in all my live streams. So thank you so much. And thank you, Dee Dee. Very, very nice of you. Adrian says, if there's less projects, then there's going to be less writing positions for entry-level positions. Yeah, I think this could all have like an unintended trickle-down effect where there might be some downsides that people aren't anticipating. But I don't know. I mean, you can't really stop everything bad from happening ever as much as you would want to. But I don't know. I think what we're going to see, especially since all these executives are already saying that they shouldn't have spent so much on streaming, I think we're just going to see significantly less productions being made, especially for streaming, which means it's going to be a lot harder for people to get work. So that's going to suck. But anyway, moving on from strike news, getting to entertainment news now. First thing I have to mention, which is very, very sad, and of course, it's that Sir Michael Gambon has passed away. Who, of course, he's been in a lot of roles, but he's perhaps most famous for playing Dumbledore in the Harry Potter films. Passed away at the age of 82, still too young. He was a great Dumbledore, great actor. He will be missed. This was very, very sad when I saw this. But yeah, I think a lot of those Harry Potter actors are now, there was already a lot of the cast was already kind of old to begin with. So it's kind of sad. It's like all of these actors now are, meeting their end and think we're just going to get a lot of headlines in the next couple of years. It's very, very sad. Angel Barrera, thank you so much for the super chat. Less streaming content. I'll miss watching trash. Not all the streaming content is trash. Some is good. Just, yeah, most of it is, though. Yeah, this was very sad. Juan's up. Oh yeah, he's great in The Life Aquatic. He was also in Franklin Bean and Fantastic Mr. Fox. Thank you for throwing out these other movies. Oh yes, in Paddington as well. He was a great actor. He's been in a lot of stuff, a lot of noteworthy stuff. So, yeah, rest in peace to him and all well wishes to his family. Next topic. Now let's talk about DC. Oh boy, what in the absolute F is going on with DC? So, you guys know, or guess I've been telling you about this, and I know a lot of you guys, sorry I touched the mic, I know a lot of you guys have been, just very confused about what the heck's going on at DC. Well, I'm confused too, because I thought that James Gunn was coming in to set the ship straight and reboot everything and get everyone on the same page. But no, that's not what he's doing. Apparently he's making it more messy, more confusing, and I have more questions, and I already think he's done before he's even began. So, here's why I'm very confused. So James Gunn clarifies that everything before Creature Commandos, which is an animated series that he's working on, and Superman Legacy is non-canon. Even though he already said that Blue Beetle was supposedly going to be the first movie of the DCU. I guess he's already walking that back, but not really, because I'll get to that in a second. He also said some actors will be playing characters they've played in other stories, and some plot points might be consistent with plot points from the dozens of past DC projects. So, it's like, I don't understand what he's talking about. It's like he's claiming that rebooting, but also not rebooting. They're gonna recast everyone, but also keep some people. It's gonna be a whole new universe, but we're gonna keep some of the same plot points. I'm so confused. I thought we were just doing a full reboot, a clean, full reboot. What is this nonsense? This absolute gobbledygook nonsense that he's spouting here. This literally makes no sense. Let me read this again. Some actors will be playing characters they've played in other stories. So he's saying he's going to use some of the same actors, but they're going to be playing different characters. Like, I did hear that Jason Momoa, instead of playing Aquaman, he wants Jason Momoa to play another superhero called Lobo. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And some plot points might be consistent with plot points from the dozens of past DC projects. Now, what do you mean by dozens? Because the DCEU does not have dozens of projects, especially if you're just talking about the Snyderverse. So, is he talking about? Are you going to go back to some of the Christopher Nolan movies, or the old Batman movies from the 80s, or what? What are you talking about? Are they really going to spin this whole multiverse stuff and include stuff from past DC universes too, even before the DCEU? So this is getting really convoluted to me. Really, really convoluted. Alright, Rai Noel says, because we're not confused enough with all these movies. I know! These superhero movies are getting so confusing. Remember when they were simple? This is not simple. This is anything but simple. Rachel says he needs to stop talking until A, the non-relevant movies have already been released, so he can't hurt them, and B, when he actually understands what is changing. I don't think James Gunn knows what he's doing. I really wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt when he started, because I do think he's a good director. But I feel every choice he's made since he's taken the job just has made no sense to me. I thought it was like the most obvious decision in the world to go in there and just clean house and start over, because obviously nothing was working. But it's like he doesn't want to fully commit to a clean reboot because he's too afraid to let certain things go. And I think that's a mistake. I'm like, how can he make such an obvious mistake and then double down on it? Josh Loves Movie says, Cholo Meridueno says, or Morduena says it's staying as, is staying as Blue Beetle in the DCU. Same with John Cena and Viola Davis. Yes, I have this on the next page. Thank you, Josh. So these are some of the actors that James has already confirmed is actually staying, and he left it open to the possibility that there might be more. He said some actors, we already said that. This is different. Some actors will be playing characters they've played in other stories, and some plot points might be consistent with plot points from the dozens of film shows and animated projects that have come from DC in the past. So this is an expansion on that last quote. I didn't even know that he mentioned animated projects. So that makes me even more confused. So you mean we're, as the consumer, the viewer, are we now going to have to watch all the animated DC stuff too? What? You're going to draw on the plot points from, like, past animated shows, not just the live action ones? What? Why would you do this? This makes no sense. And why would you keep Peacemaker of all the characters? I'm sorry, no offense to John Cena, but, like, you get rid of Henry Cavill's Superman, but you keep John Cena? Huh? I mean, I love Viola Davis. Viola Davis is my favorite actress working today. Not probably, maybe, or might be. No, she definitely is my favorite actress working today. And I don't think she should be in this new DC universe, because what the heck? She was only in what? Like, I know she was in Peacemaker. She was in the Suicide Squad movies. But, like, I just don't think that she's, like, a big enough character to warrant keeping around and muddying up the timeline. Like, it just makes no sense to me. And then Blue Beetle flopped. So I actually liked that movie, but it flopped. So why are you keeping Cholo around? Even though I think he was well cast in the role and I really like the guy, it makes no sense to keep him around. If you're going to keep him around, then you have to say that Blue Beetle is the first movie of the new DC universe. Except James Gunn literally just said it's not. He just said that Creature Commandos is going to be the first one. So what's the truth? What's the truth? None of this makes any sense. Seriously. Mikey says, I knew I couldn't trust him. He hasn't even done anything good since he took the job. No, he hasn't done anything good. Literally, I thought he would go in there and make some of the most obvious decisions that everyone could see needed to be made, and then he did the opposite. And I find that really bizarre. I thought he had more, like... maybe I gave him too much credit. I thought he had more sense than this. Nicholas says, well, Brittney, that's one AMA question. Answered. Mine is Michelle Pfeiffer. What are you talking about with Michelle Pfeiffer? Oh, favorite actress, yeah. Okay. Angel Barrera, thank you so much. Angel, you are always, like, with the super chats and the support. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Comics have the same problem with confusing reboots at random times, repeating stories, weird changes, and odd choices. Why would you repeat that? I don't know. I think what made the MCU so successful, at least in the first 3 phases, is that it was very, very simple. It felt like watching a TV show, and each new movie was just an episode in a season, and like each phase was its own season, and that endgame was like the series finale. Like, that's kind of how it was structured, and that's how they got everyone on board, because if you were watching the show, you could easily keep up with the overarching story. You didn't need to do all this homework. You didn't need to watch stuff from, like, previous franchises and, like, animated movies and shows that were made, like, 20 years ago. It was all very simple. And I feel like none of them are doing that anymore, and that's a mistake. Hi, Hidden Name. Arvin says he is keeping the characters that he has control on because they are perfect for his new universe, but he didn't make Blue Beetle, so it can't be the first movie for his universe. It's the first character. I get that it's the first, you're saying it's the first character, but that's so confusing. How can you say, oh yeah, he's the first character in the DC universe, but it's not the first movie? Like, if I'm a person who pays attention to this stuff and, like, tries to make sense of it, and it doesn't make sense to me, like, how are the poor people who just, like, casually go see a movie just because they saw a trailer that looked interesting are gonna feel? Like, they're just gonna be so lost. Oh my gosh! Angie! Wow, Angie Suarez, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. You guys are so generous today. This is great. Wow. So Red Star is a member, Fod Fareed is now a member, Words is a member, JZJ is a member, Ariadna from Meta is now a member. Thank you all. You're all members. We are going to get to the member segment again when we get to the wish topic, but thank you all for supporting the channel, and thank you, Angie Suarez, for doing that. That was really kind of you. Yeah, we got a lot of new members today. This is great. Omar says, we were spoiled with the first 3 phases of the MCU, knowing how bad comic book movies have gotten. Yeah, I bet even, like, Kevin Feige and the other producers at Marvel are like, wow, we really had it good. I bet they're realizing just how good they had it now. Yeah, they are keeping the worst aspects of the comics. It's very weird. Anyway, I had to bring this up because I think this whole James Gunn DC reboot is already shaping up to be a disaster. And I really thought there was hope. I truly, truly did. I thought, wow, we're finally getting new management. You know, James Gunn, he did a lot of good things for Marvel. Maybe he could do the same for DC. But boy, do I feel naive. Because what is this? What is this nonsense, and why can't he give a straight answer? I know why he can't give a straight answer. It's because he doesn't know what he's doing. And he doesn't want to commit either one way because he might change his mind. So that's why. And I think it's a mess because he's being a mess publicly on social media. So yeah, as I put on my thumbnail, James Gunn is being messy. Very, very messy. And I think his DC universe is going to be the same way. Anyway, let's move on. Alright. So, Tom Brady is getting a biopic series called The Patriot Way. Now, I am not a sports person. I don't even watch football. But I do know and have heard of Tom Brady. I know he has a lot of rings. He's won a lot of Super Bowls. I know he's a big deal. So I think this could be a pretty big biopic series. Anyone interested in this? Anyone watch sports? Anyone gonna watch this? I think this could actually be huge. In fact, I kind of feel like this should have been a movie. Because they have a description. Or they did. Does this one have the description? No. Okay, well, I read a description for it, and it says that part of the series is going to take place within the stadium, so I think they're going to do lots of flashbacks and shots showing him in a game. And imagine if that was a movie. I've been talking a lot about how movies need to feel like events nowadays, and I feel like if you could replicate the feeling of being at a football game in the theater, that could have made a lot of money, especially being about Tom Brady. That could have done really well. So I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity, but at least he's still getting a series. What do you guys think? Tegan and Hopperoonie, this feels very American. Yeah, not a lot of sports fans in my audience. Not surprised. That's a very Republican sounding title. Josh won't be watching. Oh, he's the Taylor Swift of football. Okay, all the dads about to go crazy. Is this just something for the dads? I guess so. I mean, dad's gotta have something too. Mikey says, I like American football, but sorry, I'm not gonna watch a series or documentary about it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think my audience is full of sports fans. Y'all are just like, I don't care. Alright, well, I thought I'd bring it up because I think this could end up being a huge, at least in America, it'll be huge. And I think this is a missed opportunity by not making it a movie. But anyway, moving on. So, what on earth? What on earth? I just tweeted that sometimes it feels like Disney has never learned anything. Because, what in the world? I told you that Disney is making a live-action Bambi, right? So you know this is happening. They want you to see a live action deer get shot because Disney just is like that. But it doesn't stop there. Oh, it does not stop there. They want to modernize Bambi, saying, quote, I think that to be able to bring it to life for kids these days in a way that maybe they relate to a little bit more would be of service to the original. Y'all, they're about to modernize Bambi. What does this mean? Disney, whenever Disney tries to modernize something, we get like Snow White, you know? I haven't seen the movie yet, but everything I've seen and heard about it sounds like it's gonna be awful. I'm really nervous. What are they gonna do to Bambi? What does this mean? Why does this feel like a threat? I don't know. This could mean anything. Who wants to see a modernized Bambi? Who's interested in this? Ria Lynn says, how TF do you modernize Bambi? Hello, it's animals in the forest. I mean, is this gonna be like the Lion King again? Where they did those awful CGI animals? I mean, the CGI was actually good. I'm not saying the visual effects were bad. They were good. It's just the fact that they were all so emotionless and lifeless because they tried to make them look so real they couldn't emote. So it was just like, you're just watching boring animal faces where you got like Beyonce's face, talking out of it. I don't know. It was very weird. I told you guys I don't like the live action Lion King movie just because I did not like how just uncanny it was. And I feel like this movie is going to be the same. Like, very uncanny, very weird. Like, WTF is this? Little Joe's Animations, thank you so much for the super chat. You effing kidding me? Modernized, original, it's timeless. Exactly. I don't understand why they feel like they have to modernize everything. If you're adapting it, this movie is like decades old at this point. This is one of Disney's older movies. If you still feel like Bambi is relevant enough to even adapt it at all, why change it? Clearly the original story was timeless enough that it's still relevant to today, that you would want to adapt it. So why then change everything? And also, what is not modern about the original Bambi? Like, there's nothing, like, yes, okay, for some old Disney movies, like, for example, the original Peter Pan, there's a lot of stuff in that movie that has not aged well. It is actually quite racist. So I get that. But Bambi's a very sweet, wholesome movie about a little, deer that loses his mom. I don't know what needs to be updated about that. Nothing about it was controversial to begin with. So this, again, just gives me, like, a lot of questions and raises a lot of concerns. Angel Barrera, oh my gosh, Angel, you are an angel, thank you. They're going to do a good Guy Hunter spin-off. Oh, I love your dad jokes. Oh, your dad jokes are the best, thank you, Angel. MCU Unofficial says, Bambi is gonna end up like the Lion King. I know, and I hate it. I hate it already. Omar says, because they are modernizing it, that means they will strip it all the emotion of the original, which probably means the mom won't be killed and will be a boss. What, are they gonna turn Bambi's mom into a girl boss? Is she gonna, like, defy death by becoming a girl boss? Why does this feel like something Disney would do? Oh god, don't give them ideas. Connor Garrett says, Disney, please, for the love of God, enough with your remakes. Make something original for once, please. I know. It's so sad. They're, like, so risk adverse at the moment that all they can do is remakes and sequels. Because when they do originals, to be fair, they don't always hit. Like, Elemental could have been a really big flop if people didn't actually like that movie. So, I mean, I get why they're hesitant. It's just, it sucks, Even A Bug's Life, that ish was weird AF. I liked A Bug's Life. Bug's Life was good, although, I don't know if, okay, it's a little side tangent, but you guys know, like, how Ants, DreamWorks movie Ants and Bug's Life kind of came out around the same time? I always liked the DreamWorks Ants movie more. Have you guys seen Ants? That's a good movie. Maya says, modernization means they'll probably make it about hunting equals bad. Oh, I can see that. Maybe it'll be like it'll have like an environmental message, because part of the forest does burn in it, right? Maybe they'll make it like an environmental like based movie. Maybe that's what they mean. Yeah, very like anti-hunting. That could be it. Because that's the only thing I can think of that would feel like it needs to be updated. Because otherwise, this movie is like extremely wholesome. Oh no, Fod Furry thinks ants looked creepy. Well, the CGI was very new at the time. Yeah, you guys gotta watch Ants. Oh, Josh loves Ants. Yeah. I love both movies, but yeah. Anyway, I hope we don't get hyper-realistic bugs, because that would also freak me out. I don't want uncanny-looking bugs. If you guys want uncanny-looking bugs, go watch the Cats movie. The live-action Cats movie. They had very uncanny CGI cockroaches in it. And that was something else, man. Never again. Oh, that movie was strange. If we see something like that, I will literally walk out of the theater. I won't, but I will want to. But anyway, I had to share this because what in the world? What does this mean and why does it feel like a threat? What are they going to do to Bambi? I'm so nervous about this now. Okay, anyway, let's move on. So, the second season of House of the Dragon, which has completed filming, is eyeing a summer 2024 premiere. And I'm very, very excited about this. I'm happy that we're getting it so soon. Again, for selfish reasons, I'm glad that the show was almost not really affected by the strikes, although maybe it kind of was. They didn't have to stop filming because most of these actors are British and they're part of a different union. But they did have to stop writing and like doing rewriting and re-edits because they, according to HBO, they said that they had written all the scripts for the entire season before the writers went on strike. And they just never changed anything or never updated anything while they were filming. I feel like that's definitely a lie. I feel like there are definitely writers on this show that are probably scabs that we don't know about. But, you know, for selfish reasons, I'm at least excited we're getting this show soon. Is anyone excited for the show? Did anyone watch this show? Yes, there are less episodes in season 2 as well, which definitely sucks. Oh, Free Rocket Man loves this show. Me too. Arcane is coming on next year? Oh, if that's true, that makes me so happy. I love Arcane. Hybrid Venom says, Husband Hotel is getting a series that is going to be on Prime Video, so only expensive people can get it. Wait, what are you talking about? I'm not sure. Oh, Jordan Davis, I'm glad you can make it. So it seems not everyone is watching this show, although a lot of people did it. Like, the viewership for the show was insane. Okay, Rai Noel likes it. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to update you guys because it seems like we're actually getting this show sooner than I thought we were. So, looking forward to it. Moving on. Now to the bad news. Oh my gosh, Disney. What are you doing? So, I guess Disney saw what Netflix was doing with like cracking down on password sharing, which actually worked out for them because they gained a bunch of subscribers from it. So I guess Disney saw it worked for Netflix and they were like, oh, we're gonna do the same thing. So Disney is now also cracking down on password sharing starting November 1st, which means you cannot share your subscription outside of your household. Is this going to affect anyone in my chat today? Is anyone going to unsubscribe from Disney Plus because of this? I already told you guys that I did. So, what are you guys gonna do? Oh, Little Joe's Animation is not happy about this one. Oh, neither is Fod for Reed. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, this is very disappointing. Who does this affect? Okay, L and No is unsubscribing. Okay. Honestly, I think Netflix can get away with this, but I don't know if every streaming service can get away with this. Netflix almost feels like a utility now because I guess because it was the first big streaming service to really like popularize the concept. I feel like people are more inclined to just keep Netflix, especially since they have more variety of content than they are for something like Disney Plus. I don't know, I feel like Disney doing this might backfire on them. Where it worked for Netflix, I don't know if it's gonna work for them here. Jao Pedro says I'm staying away from Disney Plus. Yeah. Oh, Laura B says, oh no, I share it with 3 friends. Yep, it sounds like at least 2 of you are going to have to get an account now. Oh, Twilight's Traveler says my brother has Disney, so I use his password. So Twilight's Traveler, are you gonna get Disney Plus now, or are you just gonna unsubscribe? Uh, RJ says I don't have Netflix anymore and I don't want Disney. I was about to get it. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, you still can get it. I want to also add that Disney is also doing a price increase. I can't remember what the actual price is going to be, but I want to say it's going to be something like almost $20 a month now, or at least 15. It's something between like 15 and $20 a month that Disney Plus is going up to. And I think that is ridiculous. I definitely don't think that this service is worth that price, if I'm being honest, especially since they're taking down a lot from the service and they're not even like uploading as much new stuff as like Netflix is doing, and a lot of the new stuff that they do upload is either Marvel or Star Wars, so that's not a lot of variety. I just don't know if it's worth that price. Little Joe's Animations, again, thank you so much for the super chat. This is just an arrogant move on Disney's part. Yeah, I think this is going to backfire on them. Like I said, I think Netflix can get away with this because it's much harder for people to let go of Netflix. But I don't know if people are going to feel the same way about Disney Plus. I think most people are just going to say, oh well, and I think this could really backfire. Yeah, Kasaki, it is almost $20 for Disney Plus. You know what's funny, Kasaki? I did think it was $20, but in my head I thought, damn, that is so much money. It can't possibly be $20 a month, but it is $20 a month. That's crazy to me. Pop says, usually the only reason I'm keeping Max and Disney is because of one specific show that I love, and that's it. Yeah, honestly, I think Max has better stuff than Disney Plus. They also have more variety. And all the HBO shows, which are really good. I would take Max over Disney Plus any day. In fact, the only streaming services I currently pay for now, well, I'm sharing Netflix with someone, so I'm not paying for it. But I have Amazon, but I use Amazon mainly for the shipping. I rarely use Amazon Prime unless it's for, like, The Boys. I had Disney Plus, not anymore. And Max. I have Max. And I have YouTube Premium. So, because I watch YouTube a lot and I don't want to watch ads, so I pay for YouTube Premium. Anyone else use that? Rai Noel says, I'd rather go see a movie in theaters once a month than pay for Disney Plus. That's a great point, Rai. For that same price of $20 a month, you could just go see a movie in theaters. I don't know. I just don't know if it's worth it. Okay, Cheetah Viper likes Peacock. Okay. I used Peacock for like one show. What was it? Oh yeah, Bill Nye had a show about the end of the world where he went through a bunch of like world-ending catastrophes and what that would look like. That was pretty good. That was a good show. That was the only show I've seen on that app though. Raya Lynn says, how is YouTube Premium for movies and shows? Is it free? No, movies and shows are not free. The benefits with YouTube Premium is you don't get ads. You can watch YouTube videos like with your phone turned off, so you don't have to like have the screen on. You can do screen sharing. You can download videos. You get access to YouTube Music for free. Those are the benefits. Did anyone watch that Bill Nye show? It was a very random show, but I liked it. Okay, Josh likes Paramount Plus. Alright. Fod for YouTube Premium is also $20 a month, so... But the thing is, for me, I feel like YouTube Premium is worth it, whereas Disney Plus is not worth it for that price. Just because I watch much more YouTube than Disney Plus. Alright. Moving on to the next topic. Now we're going to talk about Wish. Now, Wish, I'm very, very excited about Wish. I think after watching the trailer, I'm even more excited for it. I think it looks really good as we're about to go through it. I really hope it does well. I don't think it's a guarantee that it's going to do well just because there's so much like anti-Disney energy, just people who don't want to support Disney no matter what it is. I think there's a lot of people just like apathetic about the brand in general, so I'm wondering if that will affect this movie. But I have to say, as someone who's also quite jaded by Disney, this trailer looks really good. So I thought that we would just kind of scrub through it. I'm not going to play it for copyright reasons because it could negate the whole stream. But we are going to go through it. I'm going to show you and tell you what's happening in it because I think there's a lot to really unpack here. Before I get into this quick breakdown reaction, what are your thoughts on Wish? Is anyone excited for this film? Who's going to see it? Jordan Davis says it's literally a storybook. Yeah, the animation, they definitely are going for a new animation style in this one. It's funny. In some shots, I really like it. In some shots, it looks unfinished. I can't decide how I feel about it yet. I know, Connor Garrett. I hope this doesn't let me down. Okay, someone said they want a poll. I'll do a quick poll just saying, are you planning to see Wish, yes or no? Alright. Wish, question mark. And I'm going to say yes, no, and streaming. Yes, no, and streaming. You guys already know my vote, so curious to see what you're going to say. Green Olive says, what fairy tale is Wish based off of? Well, here's the thing. So Wish is actually, here's the story. So Wish is based off of the traditional Disney wishing star, and it's supposed to be a celebration of 100 years of Disney. So there's going to be supposedly, this movie's going to be full of Easter eggs and nods to Disney's earlier animated films. Because this is supposed to be a celebration of Disney, it's supposed to be about Disney. I mean, the wishing star that's in the film is supposed to be the wishing star that's in, like, all of the Disney movies. Like, it's the same wishing star that Pinocchio was looking at and all that. Like, that's the lore behind this movie. And the story, going to the story, where did I put the story? I don't know. Can't find it. But the story is essentially the main girl, the main princess, Asha. She is a apprentice to the king. And the king is this, like, big showboaty guy, as you'll see. He's voiced by Chris Pine, so I'm very excited for that character. And he has I think, control over this magic, over this wishing star, and the two end up becoming at odds, and now there's, like, a villain that I'm really excited about. But yeah, it sounds really interesting to me. It's another classic fairy tale story that I feel like Disney hasn't done in a while. I don't know if there's going to be a love interest, though. Like, I haven't seen anything about a prince. Yes, Asha is the next Disney princess, so this is a Disney princess movie. Alright, so let's get to the trailer. Oh wait, hold on, let's get to the poll. So 60% of you are saying yes. I mean, again, this audience is probably very skewed, but that's very promising. Very promising. I actually really think this has a chance at being a hit. I'm hoping this will be a hit. 26% will just wait for streaming, so that's fair. Only 14% say no. That's really, really low, actually. That's extremely low, so I think this movie could be a surprise hit, not gonna lie. Alright, let's go to the trailer. So, the first thing I wanted to point out is this animation style. So, I think they're going for, as someone said, like, it looks like a storybook, but it's a storybook full of, like, watercolor painting people. I don't know, it's hard to sort of describe. Like I said, in some shots it looks really good, but in others it kind of almost looks like a filter. It looks really unfinished. Like, you can see how the background kind of almost looks like it's 2D animation, but the people themselves look 3D. I think that looks cool. Again, I'm just happy that Disney is willing to experiment with their animation style. I still think they could have gone further. I think there are other animation studios that are being a lot more bold and inventive with animation now, like Sony and even Illumination. But I like that I guess Disney is, like, dipping a toe into experimenting with animation. So I'll give it to them for that at least. But we got Asha here. I think that's how you say her name. She seems really sweet. I like her personality a lot. She's trying to get everyone's attention here. I think she looks very relatable, very personable. I can see her being a Disney princess that a lot of people really like. So I'm very much looking forward to her being, like, the next big Disney princess after Moana, because I think she has that much potential. So far, what do you guys think of the animation style? Josh likes it. Okay. Kazaki says, looks like a Disney coloring book you can get from CVS. It does kind of look like that, yeah. Blue Gecko Nerd says, it's gonna be my time to show them all. I'm Sophia the First. Okay, you think it looks like Sophia the First. Oh, I feel like that's a bit of a backhanded insult, because isn't Sophia the First like a movie for preschoolers? Isn't that on like Disney Junior? You guys think this looks like a Disney Junior movie? Cheetah Viper thinks this looks like Shrek. I guess the architecture does kind of look like Shrek. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on the art style. I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. Hidden name, she's half black, half Latina. So that's her ethnicity. And she has braids. So this will be the first Disney princess with braids. So that's cool. Getting back to the trailer. Disney logo. So we go to the castle. Nice big castle. Again, looks very watercolor. Here's the main king guy. He's voiced by Chris Pine. He's going to be the villain. I'm glad, so glad that there's actually a villain this time. There's been way too many villainless Disney movies lately. They thrive at villains. I don't know why they ever stopped. I think Elemental could have been a lot more interesting personally if that movie had a real villain. But anyway, I'm just happy that this one has one. And he's a real showman too. He kind of almost reminds me of like a lot of the tech bros when they have their big demonstrations and they're, cheering the crowd on like, oh, look what I can do. Look at this cool invention I've made. That's kind of what he's doing with the audience. He's showing off with his, magical powers and skills. You can see he's doing something to this guy. He's saying, I can grant everyone their wish. I have the power to grant everyone their wish. And it looks like he's doing it with this staff here, which looks really cool. And then he turns this guy into a prince. So it's like he's promising everyone that he can give their wish, or at least a few people. So kind of an interesting concept. I like what they're setting up. I also like the costumes. Like the fashion is everything to me. It looks good. She kind of looks like the mom from Frozen. She kind of has that same face. But anyway. I kind of like him because he kind of comes across as like, I'm the good guy. What do you mean? Like, he doesn't think that he's a bad guy. At least that's how it comes across from this trailer. He genuinely thinks he's in the right, and I think that's what makes good villains really interesting. So I'm very curious to see how they play this one off. How are you guys feeling about the trailer so far? Okay, Yo Soy Ringo really loves the visuals. Arvin says, if they give the villain a dramatic backstory, I'll burn myself. Oh, you mean a traumatic backstory? Yeah, I really hope they don't do that with him. I really hope they don't go the whole, like, oh, something horrible happened to him, that's why he's acting like this. I really hope they don't do that. I just want him to be, like, a good, complex, interesting villain that isn't supposed to be, like, you're not supposed to feel bad for. I really don't want them to do this. Rhea Lynn says Disney needs to move away from the Cal art style. Yeah, I think they need to just be more adventurous with face shapes. I think particularly with women, they draw their female characters the same way with the same face. That's why the queen here, she kind of looks like Anna and Elsa's queen mom. Like, she looks exactly the same as so many other characters because they draw so many of their female characters exactly like this. So yeah, I definitely think they need to, be more versatile. I'm not gonna lie. Angel Barrera, thank you so much for the super chat. Really, you said it would have nostalgia, and that scares me. Well, I'm hoping that all of the Easter eggs and nods to the previous movies they add in this film is done tastefully, and it's like something you notice in the background if you're looking for it. I hope it's not something like The Flash, where suddenly we start getting cameos out of nowhere. That would really take me out of the film. I hope they do the nostalgia appropriately. Okay, you said this looks like Rings of Power? Well, I mean, visually Rings of Power looks good. I just did not think the show itself was that good. But anyway, here's the town. I think the town looks absolutely gorgeous. And then here's Asha. She's talking with her friend about having to be an apprentice for the king. Again, very relatable. I I do have to say something about her personality does seem very familiar. I kind of feel like not just Disney, but almost every animation studio is kind of falling into this trap of giving female characters the sort of same awkward, quirky personality. And I do see that Asha has that as well, but for some reason, I don't know, she gets away with it because I like her. But I kind of hope that they do something else to make her stand out a bit more, and they don't just make her the, you know, oh gosh me, did I really say that kind of person, you know. These kind of antics kind of worry me a little bit. And also, why did they have to make her friends, like, stumpy and, like, I don't know. Can we stop with this making the best friend having to be, like, not conventionally pretty? I hate that. But anyway, I'm just a little concerned that they're going to make her into that trope, but I hope they don't. Do you guys get what I'm saying when I mention that whole, like, that trope about the whole, like, quirky, awkward personality that so many female animated characters have? Okay, Natanya agrees with me, yeah. Black Star says, I noticed that Disney TV shows have quirky girl protagonists as well. Okay, so I'm not the only one has noticed this, yeah. I hope they don't give Asha that exact same personality. I really don't. Blue Gecker Nerd says I act the same way as Asha. I mean, I kind of do too, but I feel like I don't want every female character to be that way, you know? I feel like it does get old, and you can make more interesting characters doing other things. Mikey says her personality is like Anna. Yeah, you're right. She does kind of feel like Anna. Very much like Anna. But anyway, I'm still gonna remain hopeful for this movie. I still want to like it, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna love her. Who knows? So they're in the library. I like this library a lot. It does kind of feel like, almost like Harry Potter, in a way. I don't know. I'm feeling the architecture. But she's talking to the guy, and this is where things go wrong between them. He is like, oh, we have to control the magic. So essentially, he kind of wants to keep the power for himself. Where she wants to, I think, go out and help more people and give out more wishes. So that's kind of where their argument lies and where their relationship sort of goes wrong. And it's very interesting, this power that he has. I don't really know what it is, but it looks visually very cool. Something with bubbles. I don't know who these people are. But he's showing her families. I guess he's showing families of, like, people that he's helped. I'm not sure. But it causes her to run away as they argue. And he, you know, this is the first time we start to see that he's not the nice guy that he's been pretending to be this whole time. And she runs away, and she wishes upon the wishing star, and the wishing star comes to her. And that's kind of how this beginning is set up. So the story actually seems interesting. I like how the trailer is edited, so it gives you a very clear idea of the story and the setup. How are you guys liking the story so far? Do you think it sounds interesting? Hybrid Venom says someone's going to say actually this villain is a good person. They always do this. They're always like, I don't know, there's always that one person after the movie's, like, you know, the hype is gone or whatever, that's like, actually the villain was the, you know, the protagonist the whole time. I don't know. In fact, I think I've already seen a tweet that's like that. It's like, why would we give everyone a wish? I think I saw that tweet already or something like that. Omar says, why isn't Disney investing more into their Disney princesses instead of remakes? Why aren't they making Disney Plus shows and like a cinematic universe with the princesses? They can do a lot more. I actually agree with you, Omar. I think Disney princesses have always been like Disney's bread and butter, or at least they have been since the 50s. So I don't know why they don't do more with the Disney princesses. You're right, because they should be. People love them. I feel like Disney princesses are like the last thing people can still like accept that they like, you know? That comes from Disney. So they should invest more in their Disney princesses. Going back to the trailer. So she does have a talking animal friend, you know, as most of these characters tend to have. She meets the star. This is the wishing star. And the wishing star helps her grant all sorts of wishes and do all sorts of magical things. It looks very beautiful. Again, I really like the art. I think it looks cool. The wishing star turns her animal into a talking animal, so now she has a talking animal friend. And it sounds like he's going to be the, comedic relief as they usually are. And it looks good. And okay, so this is the scene where the king, he looks very, very angry. Oh my god, look at his face here. But the king is like telling everyone that they have a traitor because he found out that someone had used magic and it wasn't him, so he knows there's someone out there that's using magic and he doesn't like it because I think he wants all the power for himself. So we have poor Asha, who is hiding from him because he doesn't know that it's her. So then she becomes the one that he's going after. Oh no, he does know it's her, but she's still having to hide. So it sounds interesting. I don't know, it actually sounds like it has a plot, One of the things I didn't like about the Strange World movie was that I felt like the plot was very boring. But this actually sounds like it's kind of interesting. So I don't know. I mean, look at this guy. This does not look like a good dude. Like, this looks like an evil, raging villain. And I love it. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to this. Joe says Disney needs to go back to Grimm's fairy tales. I've been saying that. They need to. And just pick one they haven't done yet. Make it beautifully animated. That's a winning formula, and it's so simple. I don't know why they won't do that. I don't know either. They could go back to doing Brothers Grimm fairy tales, both in animation and live action. Just give it to a director and a writer who knows what they're doing, and you could totally have a whole new Disney renaissance just by doing that. I don't know why they don't do that. It just seems so obvious. You're right. I mean, that's what they did before, so why don't they just do it again? Word says you can't give everyone their wish. It would be chaos. Exactly. That's why I'm already sort of kind of on the villain side. We don't really know his full motives or what he does, but I hope they do explain more of like why he thinks that way, because you're kind of right. So I hope they don't make it so it's like he's actually kind of right, because that would suck. I want him just to be a bad villain. But anyway, going back. They all look very shocked. So, looks like they find this little place underneath the castle. They have hijinks. There's lots of magic. Looks like the villain just wants to go after them. Chickens are happening. Stuff is happening. Oh, and there's like, the trailer ends with this weird musical number with a bunch of chickens. I don't know about that. I hope the music is good. It is a musical, so I don't know. This is going to be some weird music number with a bunch of chickens. Again, I hope the music is good. If the music is good, this movie can definitely be a hit. But if the music is bad, that'll be really disappointing. But anyway, that is the trailer. I think it looks really good. I think it looks promising. And I think it looks like Disney's next best chance at a hit other than Guardians this year. So, I'm rooting for it. I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for it. Kasaki says they should have just made him try to gatekeep magic, not wishes. Maybe that's what it is. Honestly, it's still just the trailer, but maybe that is kind of what he's doing. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it seem like the guy just wants all the magic for himself, which I'm sure that's the case. So we'll see. I like musicals too, Jamie. Cal Danya says, just wish for everyone to forget about the wishes. Yeah. Alright, so let's go to the member question, because I did ask you guys. Oh wow, we're already at an hour today, so might not get to all of these, but I will try to get to as many as I can. I asked my members, what do you guys think about the Wish movie, and do you think that there's actually any chance at all that this movie will actually be a hit? Real Lynn, thank you so much for being a member, says this film is such a wild card. I've seen people excited, I've seen people not a fan of the art style, think it looks unfinished, and others I've seen indifferent / too burnt out on Disney to care. I think Disney needs it to be well received, and I think people will check it out. I think it has potential to break even, but not confident to say it will be a hit yet. I think it has a hard hill to climb to be considered the top option for award for Best Animated Film. Oh yeah, it's gonna have to compete with Across the Spider-Verse. I don't think this movie has a chance against Across the Spider-Verse unless it's just really that good. I will have to say, if this movie isn't good, like, this movie actually has jaded Disney fans like me excited. If this movie isn't good, this will just, like, destroy any trust I have in any future, like, Disney movie at all until they can prove to me that they've gotten their quality issues under control. So there's a lot of stakes riding on this movie, in my opinion. Nicholas Wilson, thank you so much for being a member, says, from what we've seen, it could help bring audiences back to Disney, but it's more likely it'll just be a moderate hit. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll definitely just be a mid-hit. I can't see it make $1 billion or anything like that, but the fact that I can see it being a hit at all with where Disney's at, I think that's a win in and of itself. Rai Noel says, I hope just because it's the most promising project so far that if well received could inspire Disney to finally go in a different creative direction. Their CGI animation has become so stale, we need a spark of something magical. That's true. If this movie is a huge hit, maybe it will encourage them to do more with their Disney princesses and do more musicals like they should be doing. I would love that. To me, it seems like that's... Everyone knows Disney for their animated movies, their princesses, and their music. I don't know why they don't triple down on all three of those. Why are they tripling down on, like, trying to make Star Wars work when they should be, like, tripling down on, Disney princesses? That's what they should be doing. Jordan Davis says, I just saw the Wish trailer and it looks like a watercolor storybook, which is what people sort of wanted but not really. I think overall that people may see the movie just to try to bring back the classic 2D animation and create even more experiments with animation. Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm applauding Disney for at least trying to experiment with their animation style because I do think they desperately need to. But at the same time, I don't think they experimented enough. I think the watercolor storybook look kind of almost looks like a filter over their typical CalArt style. So it's I'm gonna take it as a mixed win. It's something at least. Ariana from Meta says, I saw the trailer while waiting for The Little Mermaid to play in theaters, and I was excited with the way it looks in 3D. I really hope it's a big hit because other than Frozen, Zootopia, and Moana, I can't remember another cartoon movie from Disney that actually hit theaters. Well, they've been having a couple of recent movies that have hit theaters. I mean, Encanto hit theaters, even though no one saw it until it went on streaming. But yeah, if this movie is a hit, then Disney will keep sending original animated films to theaters, so that's why I want this movie to do well. Little Joe's Animations, thank you for being a member, says, I think there's definitely a group that will appreciate having a fairy tale Disney musical. So far, the marketing is very giving classic Disney formula, and there isn't any generational trauma in the marketing. I know! How great is this? At least so far, it doesn't look like a generational trauma storyline, so I'm like, you know what, you've already got me. I can't do it. Yet another generational trauma storyline. I can't do it. I can't. And so far, it doesn't look like Wish has it. There's enough of us who will always hold on to our love for Disney, if only because of our love of their animated hits and their movies play into that desperation perfectly. That's true. The fact that this movie will intentionally play into Disney nostalgia, I think, could definitely help it. However, the trailer does feel very average. There may very well be a great story, but the trailer spotlighted too much of the generic humor and made it feel too modern. And with all the negativity around studios, especially Disney, I can only see this being a mid-hit at best, like Encanto will probably blow up in streaming. Yeah, I can see this happening with Wish. I can see, like, exactly what you just said. I can see this doing only, like, modest in theaters, but then doing, like, super, super well on Disney+. Can totally see that. Ria Rue, thank you so much for being a member. Says, I think it could be a hit, if not mid. I'm glad this is original content at least. I doubt Disney's reputation will ruin it. The general public will never fully cancel Disney. I did look at the comments under the official trailer and it seems mixed. Oh, maybe I should look at the comments though. Because so far I've only seen like mainly positive comments about this trailer, but if people are saying negative things, I do want to see what they're saying. Who doesn't think this trailer looks good? I'm asking the chat now. If you don't think this movie looks good, why or why not? I really want to know. The CoverGirl official says, if it is good and people watch it, it could maybe save Disney or at least give us some hope. I don't think it'll entirely save Disney, but I think it could at least put another notch in its belt that, like, hey, we haven't completely given up on quality yet. I think that's what it'll say, honestly, more than anything. Um, Cheetah Viper says, so many movies have failed to perform well this year. Wish could be a hit or it could be a flop. Elemental picked up steam just like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Other Disney movies underperformed. I think it will take positive word of mouth to make Wish a success and little competition around its release date. Since you're excited for it, I hope it does well. Oh, thank you, Cheetah Viper. And yeah, I think it's very much going to be dependent on word of mouth. That's why I hope it's good. If it's bad, I think it's definitely going to flop. But I think if it's good, I think there's a chance it could actually be a mid-hit. I think it could be a mid-hit. Natanya Mulling says, I hope this is a hit. Disney really needs one. Yes, they do. The Legendary Movie Critic says, I think Wish will be a huge hit for Disney on the level of Frozen and Encanto. Oh, wow, Josh, you are very confident. And is going to have great word of mouth to boost the box office like Elemental. I so hope you're right, Josh. I so hope you're right. This trailer to me looks good enough that maybe it can be amongst those movies. Personally, I like Frozen a lot more than Encanto, but I know people love Encanto. But I really want this movie to be good. I hope it's as good as what you're saying. Kazaki says, I'd say that Wish will be a mild success. Nowhere near as successful as Elsa, but maybe more similar to Encanto. I personally wouldn't watch it in theaters because the art style reminds me of too much of Sophia the First. I feel like, again, that's kind of an insult. It's like you're saying this looks like a Disney Junior movie. That's not good. Fofo says, once again, that thanks Angie Suarez for the membership. Oh, Angie Suarez, thank you for gifting this person a membership so they can comment. I think that I've seen some traction online for this movie, so it's probably going to be a mid-hit with its beautiful blend of art styles. I estimate $800 million at the absolute highest, so it has potential to make Disney lose a crap ton of money. I just don't think it's going to be a complete hit because Disney does have a bad rep now. Probably $650 to $700 million. I think if this movie did make $650 to $700 million, I don't even think they would consider that to be a mid-hit. That'd be a major hit to them. I think they're so down and out right now that if this movie made like $650 million, that would not be a mid-hit. That would be like a huge hit. I'm sure Disney would be ecstatic if this movie made that much money. Thank you for being a member. Anyone not excited for this in the chat? Because I did ask you guys. I don't see anyone who says they don't like it. Okay, seems like you guys are all just basically looking forward to it. Okay. Words Mean Nana says, the second Disney movie I wanted to see this year, the other being Guardians. I think this movie and Guardians might be Disney's only big hit this year. Because I don't think the Marvels is going to be a hit, so I think it's going to be those two and that's it. Mikey says, I was asking about this yesterday because Wish's official trailer finally came out. I think it'll be a slight hit, making $400 to $650 million, making this a little too high, but yeah. I think it has a 50-50 chance of making it, but it still looks so good. But just saying some of the shots look like they're unfinished. Yeah, some of the shots definitely do look unfinished. That's why I'm a little mixed on the art style, but I've already said that. Thank you so much for being a member. Retro Dress, thank you for being a member, says, I hope it'll be a hit. Me too. RuPaul Drag Race Superfan says, it won't flop, but it won't do the best unless something like Puss in Boots' Last Wish happens, where no one is excited and it turns out to be a really good movie and then somehow it becomes a huge hit. Definitely going to be dependent on word of mouth, for sure. I just hope that it's good, because if it's bad, it'll definitely kill the movie. Our Pistol says, of course it'll be a hit. It might even be good. It looks spectacular. It seems like sister to Frozen. However, I do like that the setting seems too multicultural without being forced. I can't wait to buy my mom a Valentino plush. That's a great point, our Pistol. Yeah, the world does seem very, I'll say, diverse without feeling forced. That is true. That's a great point, Art Pistol. And then the last comment, Cry Deluxe says, I saw the trailer and the animation looked kind of half-baked. But I hope that We Want Original Content group that hated on The Little Mermaid puts their money where their mouth is. I think they might actually do so. Because like I said, I think this could be a hit. But thank you, Cry Deluxe, for being a member. And thank you everyone who commented here. You guys always put like the most just thoughtful statements here. You guys really know what you're talking about. So I really appreciate it. Again, if you want to be a member, please just press the join button at the bottom of the screen. And that would really help me. Thank you. Alright. So going back to the main shot, since we're already well over time, I'm just going to do like 2 or 3 questions and that's going to be the end of the stream for today. Thank you everyone for joining me. I am going to be here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Oh, before you go, I did want to make an announcement. I meant to announce this at the beginning of the video, but I forgot to. I was going to ask you guys, since you guys are already here, how many of you guys would still be able to make the stream if I moved it up just a little bit to like 4 p.m.? Because I'm thinking if I moved it to 4 p.m., I might be able to catch both Coast and Europe all at the same time. Because 7 p.m. is too late for my Europeans, but I know 1 p.m. was too early for a lot of you guys. So what if I met in the middle and I did like 4 p.m.? What could you guys make 4 p.m.? And I have another announcement to Modern Designer in a second. Reelin says most of the weeks, not so much. Okay, Little Joe says yes. Rachel says yes. I'll do a poll, but to be fair, because this is only representative of a very small portion of my audience, I may not be entirely beholden to this poll, but I'll do a poll. Does 4 p.m. work? I'm gonna say yes or no. Just yes or no. CoverGirl is a no. Jordan Davis is no, but seeing some yes. Hybrid Venom, where are you living? Because this would be Eastern Standard Time. Hold on, Mikey. I might try it out for like 1 day and see. So far, the chat is saying yes by a landslide. 73% to 23%, or no, it's 25%. So most of you are saying yes. Oh, this is your first poll, Cheyenne. Okay. So I might experiment. I'm not saying I'm definitely moving the time yet, but I might start experimenting where I have like the streams at different times throughout the week so I can catch different audiences. So I might still keep a stream at 7, but I might do a stream at 4 on a different day of the week. I don't know yet. I'm gonna think about it, but I want to try to catch different people throughout the day. So we will see. Alright, ending the poll. So, the other thing that I wanted to bring up. I know you guys have been mentioning the Brittney Rants thing, and I've been thinking I could do a Rants thing. Kind of like what I did for The Flash, since you guys enjoyed that so much. And I could make that its own show, so it's not part of the Brittney Reacts Show, it's just like a Brittney Rants show. So I was thinking about trying that as well, at least for one time next week. And I'm thinking about ranting to either Quantumania or the last Haunted Mansion movie. I don't know which one, but I'm gonna do a Brittney Rants live stream sometime next week, so look out for that as well. Oh, you guys are excited. That's good. That's good. Okay. Joe says, I see a lot of disinfo in other streams like WD Pro and Nerdrotic saying recent films were flops. How is making $250 million a flop? Well, depends on what the budget was. A movie can make $250 million, but if the budget was also $250 million, then it's a flop. Okay, so you guys definitely are saying yes to the rants. Okay, you guys want Quantumania? Okay, I can do Quantumania, because that movie was ass. Yeah, I can rant Quantumania. Okay, maybe I'll do it on Tuesday then. Okay, so look forward to that then. Look forward to that. Alright, so anyway, I guess that's the end of the live stream today. I wanted to bring that up to you guys, let you know that I might make a few changes next week, adding Brittney Rants, and might be moving the time up just a little bit. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as normal though, so I'm not changing tomorrow's time. It will be at 1 p.m. And we'll talk we'll talk tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I just appreciate all you guys who show up every day. I really appreciate it. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.